The Democratic Party is in a very interesting situation right now. Everything they've ever worked for is collapsing before their eyes. Their approval ratings are at an all-time low, and for the first time in years, when they go out to violently protest and set stuff on fire, they have to worry about going to jail. But some Democrats think they have the solution. Basically, they've decided that they're not going to be the party of peace and love anymore. Now they're going to be edgy and profane. To find out why liberals think this is anywhere close to a good idea, I went over to the liberal side of the web and investigated the most radical left-leaning newsletters I could find. And the idiocy I found within will make your jaw drop. I'm Luke Garnett, and this is The Low Gray Show. Before I go into how the Democrats are doing, here's an update on Donald Trump's approval ratings, and I'm sorry to say that it does not contain good news. As of May 2nd, according to the Real Clear Politics polling average, Trump's approval rating stands at 45.2%. It's not quite the worst he's had this term, but it's pretty close. So that low rating is understandable. There's a lot of economic unrest at the moment. A lot of people are scared about Trump's tariffs. There are a few conservative news outlets like Fox and Sky News Australia who are saying that Trump's ratings are actually doing really well. And they're citing a recent report from the Daily Mail that says he's at 54%. I did some research, and that poll only surveyed about 1,002 people, and none of the other polls have come anywhere close to 54% approval. So I'm afraid that's a bit of an outlier, Fox. I wouldn't base my whole argument on that. Trump has had much worse numbers before in his first term, but this is definitely something Republicans should be wary of. Never too early to start thinking about the midterm elections. But these numbers are nothing compared to what the Democratic Party is dealing with. According to a recent survey done by Gallup, only 25% of Americans are expressing confidence in Democrat leadership, which is the lowest ever recorded. And after reading the comments on some left-leaning political podcasts I like to listen to and make fun of, Democrats definitely do not like their leaders. Everybody is shouting, "Why is nobody trying to stop Trump?" Like Bernie Sanders and Al Green, they're speaking their mind. They're fighting back, but nobody else is even trying. They're just sitting there while Trump destroys America. I'm not sure why these liberals would be mad at having America destroyed, but anyway, the Democrats have no idea what to do until recently. That's right, the Democrats have a new plan, and this time, it is definitely going to work. It's called Dark Woke. This is from a radical left-leaning newsletter called Dazed Digital. Quote, "No one seems capable of agreeing on what dark woke actually means or able to give an indisputable example of dark wokeism." Okay, that is not a strong start, but let's keep going. Some have pointed to AOC calling the new Republican governments rapists and telling critics, "Oh, are you triggered? Cry more." Others have cited the much-loved tradition of punching Nazis or simply hitting right-wing ideologues with a brutal and often deeply personal insult. Then there's another interpretation of dark wokeism that's hard to ignore, which is basically the usual woke politics, but with slurs. Did I mention that Dazed is radical left? So not even leftist newspapers can agree on the definition of their own term, so I will define it for them. Dark woke means to fight hatred with hatred. If someone disagrees with you, you have the right to tell them to go kill themselves. Insult every conservative you meet. The more profane, the better. This is the big plan Democrats have. This is what they think will stop Donald Trump. I have no words. Let's just keep reading the Dazed article. Quote, "Trump's approach to politics, just say anything, no matter how outrageous or incorrect, has propelled him to a second term in office and inspired the rise of other polarizing political figures worldwide." You misspelled polarizing as a Z, not an S. "The tone of political conversations has changed, and liberals need to find some way to keep up. But is it even possible to be truly cruel as a liberal the same way a conservative can? There's another meme that's been doing the rounds on X recently, and that's the moral circles heat map. In case you haven't seen it, it features two graphs that show the moral circle of conservatives and liberals, respectively, i.e., the things they really care about, from immediate family all the way out to all natural things in the universe, including inert entities such as rocks. According to the study the image is based on, conservatives tend to care much more about family and friends, while liberals extend their care to people on other continents, plants, trees, and potential alien life forms. Of course, this doesn't come at the exclusion, as many of the memes suggest, of the people in their immediate orbit. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that liberals don't care about rocks more than their beloved relatives. The point is, though, that liberals' moral concern extends much further than their close circle. This shouldn't come as much of a surprise for a politics that's supposedly based on empathy, understanding, and equality. But these qualities also make it quite difficult to disregard another person's feelings and throw them to the wolves with no restraint. In other words, to be mean, should liberals discard these feelings in the name of political rivalry and embrace a more aggressive tribal politics? Do we really want to? I don't know. End quote. I think the reason this site is called Dazed is because the people who write these articles are unconscious when they do it. I'm not sure what I can say to debunk this article as being the most hysterical, incomprehensible piece of flaming garbage I've ever read. The best argument I have is the following audio clip, which is taken from a YouTube video I made a couple months ago. It shows how liberals treated conservatives before dark woke was a thing. So this is what peaceful and loving, normal woke looks like.
I say this in the most disrespectful way possible. I don't care if you are my family. You can literally go yourself if you voted for Donald Trump.
So much. We love you so much.
I don't love you. I want you to find yourself in a Princess Diana car accident.
And you're cheap because you're broken.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
This young woman said, if you know a MAGA Republican Nazi, hurt them, punch them, fight them, harm them, make them hurt.
I hope he mass deports you and your entire family.
We're taking the trash out, loser.
Even if you don't approach me, I will shoot you.
Donald Trump was recently shot at one of his rallies. How do you feel about that?
I wish he would have gotten shot in the forehead. I hate to say that because I don't have hatred in my soul at all.
No one stands with you, you racist.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
He shouldn't be in this neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah. Do you have jaundice or something?
You are 100% terrorist traitors to this country, just like him.
You're ugly, and I think you're dumb as a bullet. Let it go. Just die. I want to eat them.
I think I've made my point. So here are some examples of people using the hashtag darkwoke on Twitter/X, showcased by another radical left site called Pride.com. Quote, my grandma voted for Trump, so I made sure she fell down the stairs. I like that dark woke is going mainstream, because it really vindicates my idea that you gotta force your oppressors into submission. And in response to somebody saying Israel is the only country in the world not allowed to win a war, apparently, this guy said, that's not true. Your dad fought a war with the Vietnamese and one with a tumor, and God didn't let him win either of them. Well, doesn't all that sound cool? Don't you want to vote for them now? Yeah, even the radical left sides are admitting that this is kind of a last resort idea and they don't know what else to do. But the politicians seem to like it. They haven't specifically said that dark woke is the official new plan, but there's definitely been an increase in profanity.
This is what kicking the out of fascism looks like.
I think I could kick most of their I do that.
Somebody slap me and wake me the up, because I'm ready to get on with it.
If you could speak directly to Elon Musk, what would you say?
What I find interesting is one of the liberal podcasts I listen to actually criticized Trump for swearing once. They said, he swore so badly, you shouldn't say that kind of thing on national television. This is from the same people who criticized Trump for having bright orange skin when he was signing executive orders in January. So, not much else I can say on the Democrats' new dark woke agenda. Like I said, it's not officially the party's new platform yet, but something tells me we're not going to be seeing many more Democrats express their emotions with blue heart emojis in the future. Of course, they might still say that even if they're being profane, it's all in the name of love, like this abortion advocate.
It's hard to confuse everybody. But still, it's better to be, you want to kill them with kindness, remember?
Shows up a sign that says, my body, my choice.
They actually have people filming you the whole time. Which is why I say kill with kindness.
Guess what? Hey.
Destruction of private property. It's against the law.
That's the voice of the conservative filming them.
Somebody, and they're like, I'm a 16-year-old and I can't have this baby. Think you should keep it?
It's a baby.
Yeah.
If someone was raped and she gave birth and she decided to kill her 3-year-old child.
Kicked in the face.
I meant to get your phone.
Someone call the cops.
Meant to get your phone.
Do not touch me. Someone call the cops.
I'm not sure why Dazed thought it was a good idea to show that video in their news article, but okay. So, dark woke, excellent idea, Democrats. Revolutionary. I cannot wait to see how that works out for you in 2028. Speaking of which, in other news, Trump has started a new merchandise campaign on TrumpStore.com called Rewrite the Rules, Trump 2028. If you've been on the Democrat side of the web for as long as I have, you'll know that if there's one thing Democrats are scared of more than Trump having a second term, it's Trump having a third term. Like, they started worrying about it the week after the election. That's how paranoid they are. Trump himself has been very vague about whether or not he plans to run again, saying things like, a lot of people want me to do it, and there are methods. In a recent interview with Time magazine, he said, quote, I'd rather not discuss that now, but as you know, there are some loopholes that have been discussed that are well known. But I don't believe in loopholes. So, as you can imagine, these new Trump 2028 hats and t-shirts have sent the Democrats into a panic. I saw a post on Blue Sky that said, over my dead body or his. Yeah, Blue Sky is a pretty psychotic place. Now, is Trump actually going to try and run again? No, I really don't think he is. Like I said before, no matter what Sky News Australia tells you, Donald Trump is not doing well in the polls. Now is not the time for Trump to be thinking about running again. And luckily, even though he has yet to give a straight yes or no answer to the question of whether he'll run again, he has been consistently saying that the most important thing to think about right now is the present.
Even if it wasn't you in this position, to see a president serve a third term.
I don't want to talk about a third term now because no matter how you look at it, we got a long time to go. We have a long time. You know, we have almost 4 years to go. And that's a long time.
I'm sorry, I just don't see Trump seriously considering a third term when he's not even 10% into the term he's already serving. I'm sure Trump would love to serve a third term, but I really don't think he's going to try that hard to do it. I think this is just another troll directed at the Democrats. We all know how much Trump loves trolling the Democrats. And it's making him a lot of money. The new hats are flying off the shelves. There are a lot of people who want Trump to stick around for 4 more years.
Should I run again? You tell me. There's your controversy right there. There's your controversy.
I really don't get where these people are coming from. Maybe they're just that sick of Democrats being in charge. Like, I'm sick of Democrats being in charge, obviously, but there are a lot more efficient ways we can improve the government without modifying the Constitution. You know how long it takes to modify the Constitution? Donald Trump is a good president. He's a great president. But do you really want him to stick around that badly? When you could have people like J.D. Vance instead? Or Ron DeSantis? Sure, they may not have Trump's level of experience, especially in foreign relations, but for the last 4 years of my life, I've had to live under the jurisdiction of a president who can't count past 10 with his shoes on. I really don't want another older person in charge of the country for a while. I know that not everyone gets to mention their old age, and I think that Trump's still running on all cylinders, even though he is 78, but I feel like if we elect him again, that's tempting fate. But again, I don't think we need to worry about that. I'm sure this is a troll. But even if it isn't, we've still got the primaries. There's a lot of other stuff going on at the moment, there always is, but that's all the time I have for today, so I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. The Low Grade Show is a Low Grade Studios original podcast produced exclusively for Spotify. Psych, that's a lie. We're also on YouTube now, so if you have a friend who wants to listen to the show, but for whatever reason they don't want to install Spotify, they can still tune in. And as I say at the end of every episode, it might be a long time before you hear from me again on this podcast, because my upload schedule is very erratic, so the next episode could come out in 1 month, 2 months, I have no idea. So while you're waiting, you can check out some of my other stuff by going to lowgraystudios.com. That's LOGRAY studios.com. There, you will find links to all of my other social media sites, so while you wait for me to make the next episode, you can check out some of my other stuff. That is all for me. My name is Luke Garnett. Stay informed, and always check your sources.